I don't have ill will towards her, but I think she might have some towards me. I think Elizabeth knows that I'm not Andrei's biggest fan.
I mean, I know she didn't force her friend to scream at my husband, but she definitely didn't do anything to stop it. And she herself was yelling at my husband, so.
You can literally jump on a car and drive to another
Like
country
Germany
and change it up to wherever.
Yeah.
I am annoyed that Yara is encouraging Elizabeth to move to Moldova.
So this girls' night was supposed to mend the fences that the disastrous housewarming party destroyed. But it isn't going well. You see, Elizabeth is still annoyed at the way that Loren and her friend treated Andrei. And as for Loren, well, she's convinced that Libby would be crazy if she agreed to move to Moldova. So that leaves Yara as the person meant to be keeping the peace. Yeah, good luck with that. So let's rewind to the start and go back to the morning after the housewarming party.
We start a fresh chapter in this house from
All
every
the negative
corner.
people take all their negative energy.
I welcome love and happiness in this house.
Loren's cleansing ritual isn't exactly the traditional type of cleanup that most people normally do after a party. But Loren says that after everything that went down last night, after all the fights and arguments, she wanted the biggest sage that she could find. Now, Loren has also invited her best friend Noga back to the house to clear the air with her.
I never want you or anybody to feel that uncomfortable in our house. I want to apologize for not defending you more, because you are my best friend.
Now, Loren is worried about Noga because her actions, she tells us, were completely out of character. She never acts that way. She never loses her temper like she did last night with Andrei. And while Noga says that she's embarrassed by her actions, she also goes on to say that it was the way that Andrei spoke to Loren that made her lose it.
Something triggered seeing the way that he was speaking to you as a woman and like as my best friend. But I'm very ashamed for how I behaved.
Noga was way over the top, right? But Andrei does seem to have that effect on people, doesn't he? He's the kind of guy that thrives on pushing people's buttons, and that can be exhausting. Now, while Noga does feel bad about the way that she acted, make no mistake, that doesn't mean that she thinks Andrei is a good guy.
Good people don't say things like that. People who are more considerate of their surroundings
What's
and
the
other
word? Is like
individuals.
misogynistic a good word to use?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like, that does apply to Andrei. Like, he's the one that wants to be in charge, and he's convinced that his opinion is way more important than his wife's. Heck, his happiness is more important than Libby's happiness. I mean, it's pretty clear that, in his mind at least, he thinks he has the last say on everything. If he wants to go to Moldova, then gosh darn it, it will happen. And because of that, Loren is worried. She finds herself in a tough spot. She still wants to be friends with Libby, but she can't stand Andrei. Now, as it turns out, Loren, Libby and Yara have already planned a night out, just them, no guys invited. But Loren's now worried that this might descend into a big old mess.
I'm gonna have to talk to her about it, and I don't really know how I'm gonna approach it because I would expect her to defend her husband just as I would to mine, but I hope that she's not harping on what happened.
Loren says that she just wants to have fun on the girls' night. Like, she says, I just want to keep the peace. But I'm not so sure about that. Peace and Loren don't exactly go together in a sentence, do they? Like, this is a lady that's had probably more online feuds with other 90 Day cast members than anyone else that I can recall. Yeah, when she says she wants to keep the peace, maybe that only applies to her friends. Either way, she's now left worried. She's crossing her fingers and hoping that last night's housewarming party didn't completely ruin her friendship with Elizabeth.
I don't have ill will towards her, but I think she might have some towards me. I think Elizabeth knows that I'm not Andrei's biggest fan.
So Loren is heading to the meetup with a clear agenda. Her goal for the night is to clear the air with Libby before Libby leaves on her trip to Moldova. Remember, Libby and Andrei are going to Moldova for just a few weeks initially to scout it out and see whether or not they'll be comfortable to live there permanently. This will be the last chance that Loren has to speak to her face to face before they leave. And everyone, including Yara, is hoping that it's just going to be a nice chilled out kind of night.
I want no damn drama. Because I'm not planning to fight with nobody. I don't need to see who have a bigger boobs, because I know I have the biggest one.
So funny.
Now, keep in mind that Yara just wanted to get closer to the other women to start to build a friendship. Since her big move, she's found herself with a lack of good friends. So her aim, building a friendship, has been hampered by all the drama that's been happening. She's just hoping that today everyone will be calm. But, ready for the night out, Loren tells Alexei that while she's excited, she's also nervous. She wants to make sure that Libby is really thinking things through, she tells Alexei. I just want to be sure that she knows what she's going to get herself into and she's not just caving into Andrei's demands, she says.
Don't be in your head about it. Just be yourself, enjoy your time, and then hopefully it all goes well.
I like that.
Now that is probably good advice to just stop overthinking this all. But no sooner are those words uttered than they're interrupted by a loud knock at the door. The other families have arrived, and while the mums will be going out, the dads will all stay in to look after the kids.
The babysitters are here.
I don't like confrontation. I know it's gonna be really awkward. We just had this major fight in my house.
Look, I know it's said as a joke, and I know that Yara also used the same word earlier, but let's just be clear about something, right? Those guys are the dads. It's not called babysitting when they're your children. That is just called parenting. Now, the women leave them to it, and they head out. But if Loren was worried that things were going to be awkward, well, the car ride doesn't disappoint. Ouch, that silence feels heavy with everything that isn't being said. It looks like everyone's so scared of causing drama that they're all for a change just being quiet. How often can we say that about 90 Day Fiancé cast? Now, unable to put up with this much longer, it's left to Loren to be the one to break the ice.
I feel like our housewarming party was so insane.
I mean, my husband was screamed at, but yeah, I'm good.
Now, Loren actually does a pretty good job ignoring the sarcasm there. And she goes on to say that that wasn't the time or place for what went down. Now, a quick side note, something that I noticed. If you were to be playing a drinking game this episode, if you were to take a shot for every time that Libby said, "my husband," you'd be in serious trouble.
My husband, my husband, my husband, my husband, my husband, my husband.
And on that note, as another side note, can I just ask, have you subscribed yet? YouTube tells me that nearly 70% of people watching this right now aren't subscribed. That blows my mind. There's over 700 videos on my channel. Chances are, if you're watching this right now, then you probably watched multiple of my videos in the past. So if you like what I do me a favour, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free, costs you nothing, and it really does help my channel. Now, with that in mind, going back to the episode, Libby does admit that her husband should have used better words. But she's also of the opinion that Loren should take more accountability too.
I mean, I know she didn't force her friend to scream at my husband, but she definitely didn't do anything to stop it. And she herself was yelling at my husband, so.
Let's just be real. It's not as if Andrei was innocent. He was speaking over Loren and being his normal frustrating self. It's hardly as if he was just innocently sitting there and all of a sudden people started shouting at him, is it? Now, Libby does also go on to say that Loren didn't do anything to stop it. But what about you, Libby? You didn't exactly step in either. But back at the house, the kids are playing. Alexei is getting drinks ready for the men. But then, all of a sudden, chaos erupts.
Shai, what happened?
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Winston, stop. I'm sorry. He beat him, my business. I'm sorry.
Andrei is being really gentle with the kids, right? You do have to give him that. He apologises and he tells his kid to stop. But isn't it curious that out of all the kids there, it has to be Andrei's that's causing the trouble? And by the sounds of things, this isn't the first time that Winston has sharpened his teeth on someone.
This is how Winston shows love. You know, he beats me all the time. But I'm already on thin ice with this guy. So this is the last thing I need right now, that's for sure.
Now, these are just kids, right? No one overreacts, these things do happen. But when 2 minutes later, Winston then bites Alexei's other son too, Alexei is able to laugh it off. We can all see the funny side here. Like, what do you expect? I'm sure everyone is thinking. He's a chip off the old block.
It's kind of funny to me. Yesterday, Andrei came in here, causing a lot of trouble. And then today, his son comes in here now and he's biting other kids. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
At least the drama at the house stays amongst the children. That's more than can be said for the ladies, because in the car, things are still remarkably icy. Loren, eager to defend her best friend, wants to make it clear that Noga did apologise and she wanted that message to be relayed to everyone today. But Libby isn't having it. She says Noga's behaviour was completely inappropriate, again, as if Andrei was some kind of saint. But when she does eventually admit that Andrei can sometimes say some bad stuff, it's at that point that Yara steps in.
I do not actually hear nothing crazy to say. I think it just was a little weird.
Didn't say anything crazy? Is she deaf?
What? Who exactly has Yara been hanging out with? If, to her, Andrei's behaviour is normal. I mean, maybe it's an Eastern European thing. Now, either way, the girls decide that enough's enough. Let's just put all of what happened last night to one side and let's try our best to have fun tonight. And while they do all agree, by the time they make it to their final destination, Libby still seems super tense. So Yara takes it upon herself to try and lighten the mood.
You want to see Ukrainian dance? Really? I want to see it. Ukrainian traditional dance. Yeah! There's nothing sexy about that.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered. It works, and finally, at long last, the tension is broken. The girls start having fun, and after some drinks, after watching the dancers, everyone's mood improves a lot.
The dancers over here, very interesting place. Not like I usually go to. Very interesting. Very, very. I don't think Joey will enjoy it though.
Given all the fights that Yara has had in the past with Jovi about strip clubs, it's funny how animated she is about these dancers. But they do keep their clothes on, so Jovi can't really complain. And before too long, the girls decide to head for a quieter spot.
It makes me really sad because I like what we have here and I think it's really fun and I want to do this more, but I leave to Moldova.
Now, in the first instance at least, Libby's trip to Moldova should or will only be 3 weeks, so they can do it again. But, of course, this comment gives Loren the opening that she's been waiting for. She's been waiting all night to bring this up, and to be honest, considering things are only just beginning to get back to normal between her and Libby, it's probably not the best idea to even be raising this in the first place. But Loren just can't help herself. She tells Libby, I still can't see you living in Moldova permanently.
You're going into this thinking of your family. He's going into it thinking of him and then his family.
I'm open to it for my husband. I want to respect him.
Look, it's not that I disagree with Loren, because a lot of what she's saying is actually correct. But we all know if anyone criticises Andrei, her husband,
My husband.
Libby will always have Andrei's back. She's willing to cut people out of her life to be on Andrei's side. Loren and Libby's friendship is already on shaky enough ground as it is right now. This conversation is probably best left alone for now. But Elizabeth is adamant that she's going to go into this with an open mind. She is open to trying out living in Moldova. She says she likes Moldova when she's visiting, and that is a key distinction. Visiting a country is very different to living there forever. Now, Yara, as an Eastern European lady herself coming from Ukraine, she wants to give a more balanced, informed view of things. Moldova isn't all that bad, she says.
You can literally jump on the car and drive to another country
Germany
and
or
change
something.
it up to wherever.
Yeah.
I am annoyed that Yara is encouraging Elizabeth to move to Moldova.
Look, it is true that Europe does offer many options. What Yara says is correct. If you're not happy with your doctor, for example, you can jump in the car and go and find another doctor. Heck, you can go to another country to find another doctor. But, I mean, is that really that different from America? Surely you can jump in a car and go and find another doctor, go to another state to a doctor if you really need to as well, can't you? I mean, that hardly seems to be the ultimate selling point. I mean, if you're talking about doctors in particular, doctors and schooling is another big one. More than the ease of access, I think another critical point there is the quality. Regardless, while Yara might want to be supportive, Loren is actually irritated at the fact that she's being so encouraging. Like, from Loren's perspective, she believes that Libby needs to stand up for herself. You'll never be happy in Moldova, she says. I really hope that you don't move. And that leaves Libby very frustrated.
I really hope you're not moving there.
I'm about to leave for my trip, but as soon as I get back, Loren and I are going to have a conversation, and we need to talk about boundaries because she is crossing over all of them.
I don't doubt that her heart is in the right place, right? I understand that Loren is just trying to look out for her friend. But at the same time, there are boundaries, and at this point, Loren is in danger of becoming as bad as Andrei. I mean, she believes that she knows best for Elizabeth, just as much as Andrei does. Neither of them are giving Libby the space or the respect that she deserves to make an informed decision on her own. So, with their trip approaching, Libby is going to need to figure out for herself what it is that's going to make her and her kids happy. She's going to need to stand up for herself and fight for whatever that is. But I have the feeling that at the end of the day, after that decision is made, either her marriage or more likely her friendship is going to be at risk because ultimately she's not going to be able to please everyone.